Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I love these stinking perverts.
Miners. Oh, miners. Miners.
I'm sick and tired of these mediocre Hollywood movies being released and these producers or whatever giving themselves a pat on the back and calling it a job well done, saying things like,
"Oh wow, that 16th installment of Fast and Furious was really awesome and definitely needed, not contrived at all. By the way, we should probably pay our writers less, right?"
From the joke that is Marvel Phase 4 to the most recent slew of soulless Disney movies. Except for Spider-Man No Way Home, that was actually pretty good. So you can imagine that I was a little bit skeptical about this particular movie from this particular big franchise. But I think I may have found a diamond in the rough that will change your mind about the entire franchise. And this movie, of course, is Chris Hemsworth 1. Let's chat. What up, Lakers? Shut up, still working on it. Okay, so there has been a lot of Transformers media that has captured the hearts and souls of kids all across the globe. One of those kids being yours truly. Yes, that's right, Mom and Dad, I'm coming out as a Transformers fan. Please don't disown me. Yes, I'm a Transformers fan, and I have been ever since I saw Bumblebee take a huge leak on John Turturro's character in the first Michael Bay Transformers movie. I mean, as a 7-year-old, I just ate that shit up. Wait, is that why I've got a piss kid? You get the point. The Transformers IP is something that is near and dear to my heart, which is why I found a lot of their newer releases in the Transformers cinematic universe to be, well, how do I put this nicely? Ass juice. Okay, that's not entirely fair. I guess Bumblebee was pretty good too, but the rest of it, you guessed it, ass juice. So imagine how surprised I was to find that Transformers 1 is genuinely the best Transformers movie, period. Which is a complete shame because the marketing for this movie has been, well, you guessed it, ass juice. It's such a travesty. I mean, I literally only found out that the movie came out a week ago. Which is also why I'm a little bit late to the whole Transformers 1 hype train, but hey, better late than never, am I right? Actually, exactly what my headmaster told me when I finished grade 12 after repeating it. Twice. Anyways, this is my unprofessional opinion of Transformers 1. Let's get into it. Also, spoilers for Transformers 1, if you haven't already gathered. Now, the first thing you'll notice about this movie is that it takes place before Optimus Prime was, well, a war criminal. Yes, that's right, making this film an origin story following Orion Pax and his best friend D16, who, as some of you may know, ends up becoming a headless corpse. Dude, am I the only one just realizing how brutal the Michael Bay films were? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, one of the main gripes I have with the IP is how boring and stale the characters have become, especially Optimus Prime and Megatron, and how they completely lacked any nuance whatsoever. But bro, it's just a kid's movie, it's not that deep, eh? Shut up. It's that I know it's not that deep. Let me cook. Fuck. So you could probably imagine my surprise when I found out that director Josh Cooley completely cooked with this movie and delivered us a completely fresh interpretation of arguably the most important characters in the entire Transformers verse. Orion Pax is just so full of depth that simply wasn't there in the previous iterations of the character, at least on the big screen. I mean, in the Michael Bay movies, Optimus Prime has always been a fairly straightforward character. He's a straight-laced leader who's kind of a dick at times. But in this movie, Orion Pax is scrappy, he's rebellious, he's curious, he's suspicious of authority and the status quo, and he's so full of hope. Much like how I was before my spirit was crushed by the monotony of everyday adult life. And Megatron, oh wow, this character has never been more fleshed out than in this very movie. In the Michael Bay movies, Megatron was just the bad guy, nothing more, but in this movie you actually get to kind of see where he's coming from. And in a sense he becomes like this Thanos-like figure where you almost sympathize with his cause. D16 and his story arc is genuinely the best part of the movie, and my personal favorite. And oh my god, the relationship between Orion Pax and D16 makes for a remarkably nuanced and grown-up story for a kids movie about robots that transform into cars and planes and shit. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. This film story is remarkable. It tackles really complex themes like labor and power and truth and free will. I mean, oh my god, like, this is a Transformers movie, calm down. Here's the main crux of the story. The story revolves around a group of individuals, being the cogless miners that don't have the ability to transform, being forced into a position of second-class citizens by a self-appointed ruling class, namely the Transformers orchestrated by Sentinel Prime, the absolute perfect antagonist for this movie. And the film follows them as they rise up and take their future into their own hands. Go Marxism! This is what I needed, a Transformers movie about labor and workers' rights. Let's go. And the praise doesn't stop there. The side characters of Alita 1 and B are absolutely phenomenal. Alita 1 and B only serve to further complement the story and the rest of the cast. B, surprisingly, is not annoying as shit, and he's actually really endearing and lovable and fun. A perfect contrast to Alita 1, the boss bitch extraordinaire, voiced by Scarlett Johansson. Oh my god, her voice in Her? Oh yeah, she was a good choice for this role. The conflict between Orion Pax and D16 is so compelling because it's not a case where the writers have dumbed down the movie to,
Oh yeah, so you see, this robot's the good guy because he is, and this robot's the bad guy because he's got red eyes and spikes and shit.
no, there's so much more than that. This film makes a point of showing the audience both sides of the story, both sides of the conflict, both compelling ideologies. And I must admit, I even found myself kind of rooting for D16 and understanding where he's coming from.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just a bad boy. I've done some bad things.
This movie is not a dumbed down kids movie. This movie respects audiences of all ages and presents a compelling narrative that honestly, I would have never expected from a fucking Transformers movie. This movie's like the Spider-Verse of the Transformers cinematic universe. Genuinely the best Transformers movie, without a doubt. This movie, and I don't use the word lightly, is peak. Alright everybody, so that's been the video. As always, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and do all that fun stuff because hey, that makes me happy and I'll be a very happy boy if you do so. Also, if you want me to check out another particular movie, please let me know in the comments below. Alternatively, if you have a take that disagrees with mine, first of all, you're wrong. Second of all, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to hear you out. Alright, this has been a Jamie Lake video. I'll see you in the next one.
Didn't you like it?